this first reading group for geographical ideas, we turn to geography as an empiricist study, and as we've seen in the lecture, there were both hegemonic paradigms within this broad field of geographical ideas as well as counter-hegemonic paradigms. Both readers we looked at today draw on natural science metaphors to understand the world around them, and they both use the empirical ideas or empiricist exploration, going out and exploring the world and finding out information about it, creating the maps we use today, if you like, but they used that empirical material and extended it to start theorizing about the world, to create theories about how the world is, and by extension, how we should think about that world through the lens of geographic study. So today in the reading group we're looking at Friedrich Ratzel and Peter Kropotkin, two very different geographers, but both used empiricist ideas to make positivist theories. Both these readings are taken from the Human Geography, an Essential Anthology from Agnew et al. And we're looking at Friedrich Ratzel's The Territorial Growth of States and Peter Kropotkin's What Geography Ought to Be. So both these geographers in these pieces are outlining their mandate for what they think a geographical approach to the world should be. Friedrich Ratzel fits in well with military geographical ideas, geopolitical ideas, and these are the hegemonic or the dominant ideas within geography at the end of the 19th, turn of the 20th century. Peter Kropotkin would be a counter-hegemonic geographer working in the regional geography tradition along with people like Patrick Geddes, Paul Vidal de la Blache, and perhaps Carl Sauer to a certain extent in the United States, and they're outlining the minority but nevertheless significant view, countering the notion that geography should be about nation-states, about geographical expansion, going arm in arm with the growth of empire. So both these geographers, Peter Kropotkin and Friedrich Ratzel, both turn to natural science metaphors to understand the world around them. They're drawing on, they're kind of aligning geography with natural science. So to begin with, I want you to think about, from Ratzel's paper, the sorts of examples of natural science metaphors used by Friedrich Ratzel and how these lead to him thinking about the state, the nation-state as a political institution in a particular way. How by comparing the nation-state to a living organism, perhaps, he gives it certain senses of a natural entity that is being used to persuade us of the naturalness, I suppose, of his argument. To what extent is his argument convincing? What consequences does Ratzel infer from the metaphors that he uses? What aspects does the state need to be successful on the lines of Ratzel's thinking? And do you think that his ideas about the importance of the state and the space that it has have resonance with geographical ideas today? Okay, with an insight into Ratzel, we can also think or compare him to Peter Kropotkin. Peter Kropotkin also uses natural science metaphors, or organic analogies if you like, but he uses them to a different end, to create a different mandate for what geography should be. To what extent do you agree with Kropotkin over Ratzel? Do you think that Kropotkin's ideas are more useful for a geographical approach, or how different are they from Friedrich Ratzel? What aims and services do Kropotkin say geography should provide? And similarly, what relevance does Kropotkin have, if any, to contemporary society today? Thinking about these questions isn't simply a task for you to undertake for the seminar discussion that we'll have, but also think about these sorts of questions for your essays. All these little podcasts for these reading groups are aimed for you to start considering some relevant questions in relation to geographical ideas, and perhaps use some of these discussions, use some of the notes that you create for these discussions as part and parcel of your essay assessment later on in the module. Good luck.